Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Cole. Welcome to Transpired Indigo. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. I am so thankful to be connecting with you. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button on this video, and hit that bell notification so you know every time I drop a new video. So I am taking in this beautiful sunset going on right now. I probably shouldn't have looked into the sun, but it's a beautiful day outside here, and it's a reminder for me to connect more with nature. The topic of this video is, well, it's kind of a blend of a few different things. I definitely had ascension on the mind, and what I wanted to talk a little bit about today was sacrifices, letting things go, sacrificing things that are holding us back with our whole ascension process. And I'm just going to speak from my experience with it, and hopefully it helps you in some kind of way. So some of you know that I have had many issues with addiction in the past. I have been I was an active alcoholic for 8 years. I also had issues with opiates for 1 solid year, and I'm really thankful to be 5 years away from opiates and 9 years away from alcohol. The thing is, I'm telling you this because what I noticed along my journey is when I gave certain things up that were not good for me, better things came in. And this all goes back to the topic of energy. When we're clinging on to things energetically that are not good for us, they oftentimes block the better things from coming in. So I want to share with you the information that I've been receiving through my guides and my angels during meditation about all of this, about the ascension process and letting things go, sacrificing different things that I've been clinging on to allow things to come in. And I want to say that this has been completely legitimate for me. I've noticed this throughout the years, but especially lately, because I'm definitely in a different vibrational frequency than I was, a year ago, even 6 months ago. And I'm really thankful for that. And I've been letting go of a lot of things that don't serve me. And that could be anything, y'all. That could be people in your life. It could be the way you eat, your diet, smoking, drinking, anything like that. It could truly be anything. It could be negative self-talk, changing that, letting that go, and instead having positive self-talk. So whatever that means to you. But I wanted to share that since I've given up certain habits, like, I'm gonna be real with you, I've been a chronic weed smoker, chronic smoker in my life, and I have nothing against cannabis. I think it is a medicine. It's a plant medicine. However, when you abuse it and you're just constantly stoned, to each their own, but for me, that does not work. And I've noticed that when I put it down, as far as like all day, every day, I started to receive more downloads. I started to have more clairvoyant things happen with me, because I don't know if I've ever just come out and say it, but I am an intuitive empath. I'm an indigo child, adult, and I'm a clairvoyant. And this kind of stuff's been going on my whole life, but I totally tuned it out for a large majority of my life, especially when I drank. But the less toxic chemicals, let me just say this, if you are looking to see things more clearly on a clairvoyant level, like if there's things, for me, it was like I wanted to see things about my life. I was having difficulty making decisions. I had some big decisions, like cross-country moves and stuff, like big decisions. And I was having a hard time making these decisions. So when I went into meditation, my guides were telling me, you got to cut this out, you got to cut that out so we can speak to you more clearly. And there's just so much truth in that. And I didn't want to believe it at first. I'm like, no, I don't want to give up smoking all the time. But when I did, I started to receive more messages. And quite honestly, like some really like just otherworldly stuff started happening. I'm talking like just seeing certain things, like portals, orbs. I saw something in the night sky last night that was not of this earth, and I wasn't seeing any of that kind of stuff when I was just constantly stoned or constantly drunk. And again, I want to put this disclaimer. I am totally pro cannabis, and I do take CBD oil every single day. And if you want to know what kind of oil I take, please message me, because I would love to give the company that I use business, because they are amazing. And the guy who runs the CBD company that I order from is very, very awake to all of this. And that's important to me, because he makes sure that all of the ingredients in his oil are organic, third-party lab tested. But anyway, that's a whole nother video. I'm not trying to sell you CBD. I'm just saying, if you're interested, just drop me a message and I'll let you know. But so I'm not anti-cannabis, but I noticed that my relationship with cannabis was not good. I was using it as a crutch. I was using it to escape my reality. And then I was asking my guides, oh, come on, give me more information. I can't see clearly. I can't see clearly. I can't see clearly. And they were like, hello, we need you to put down this habit, because your aura is like clouded with smoke. Like, we can't even get to you. That's when I realized that I wasn't, even though that I experienced chronic pain from some car accidents, even though I was telling myself I was using it for the right reasons, deep down I knew that a lot of my chronic pain could be dealt with CBD oil, which is non-psychoactive. Now, those of you who don't know about me, but I have been a bud tender in Nevada and Los Angeles. I know a lot about cannabis. I am not a connoisseur, but I know a lot about the endocannabinoid system and how we have actual receptors in our body that just are meant. They're just meant to use cannabis as a medicine, just layman's terms. You can look that up. But so I was lying to myself in a way, like, oh, but this is for my pain. I'm gonna tell you, I've gone a while now without it, and the pain I experience, the physical pain, is pretty much the same as when I was smoking all the time. So it's manageable, but I'm not in a foggy haze all the time. So if and when I use cannabis again, which I'm sure I will, I would like to place positive intention when I use it. So this video isn't supposed to be about cannabis. I'm just using me as an example. But my point is, by letting go of my daily addiction to just constantly smoking, it has allowed for me to see things in my life and just the overall collective more clearly. It has helped me to receive more messages from my guides. No joke. And it's not just the cannabis, man. A huge thing is the food and fluoride. Okay, one of the biggest ways that you can help yourself to, overall, your entire health, but especially to be able to receive more information, is to stop consuming fluoride. Fluoride is in toothpaste, food, the water supply, it's everywhere. So we have to be vigilant on that. I use toothpaste without fluoride in it, reverse osmosis water, alkaline water. Don't eat GMOs as much as humanly possible. It's not always easy, not gonna lie, and if you do end up eating a GMO, you don't have to freak out or anything. You're not gonna die right then and there. It's just that when you consume food-like products and when you consume fluoride, you're not helping yourself at all. And I'm talking less about the physical factors and more about the spiritual factors, and the fact that, your spirituality, your connection with God starts in your pineal gland. Of course it's your heart, but your people say pineal, Pineal gland, however you want to pronounce it, your third eye. It's located in the center of your brain. This is your connection. And when you consume things like fluoride, it literally calcifies that. It makes it next to impossible for you to tap in. So when you start giving up certain things, you gain. It's worth it. It's like food is the food-like products that they sell are super addictive, and they're meant to be like that. But I won't go down that road. You can look more about that. This isn't going to be some kind of negative, scary video. Although, I'm not gonna lie. Spiritual awakenings is not all rainbows and butterflies, and there is darkness. But it's better, in my opinion, to be educated on the dark agendas on this planet and just know it and do the best that you can to raise your frequency and stay above the collective. Don't let that fear, because like a lot of that has to do with fear. Like when a person consumes fluoride all the time, for instance, and are constantly eating like fast food and like boxed food and processed food, they're literally energetically being held in a lower vibrational state. So by giving up these foods and eating more plants, I'm not saying you have to go vegan, I'm not saying you have to even go vegetarian, but the more plants that you incorporate into your diet, it is going to help you to receive those messages, to raise your vibration. So it can be difficult to give up those processed foods. I've told you about my addictions with drugs and alcohol. I've also have been somebody that's struggled with food addiction in my life. And I still do from time to time. And if a food feels like a drug to you, that's a really big indication that it's not true food. Because when you start eating more plant-based, you're going to notice that when you're done finishing your plate of food, you're going to feel fulfilled and you're going to feel full. If I go and I get pizza from some commercialized place, I won't name any names, but if I go and I order a pizza, it's like I just want to keep eating more and more and more, because it's designed that way. It's not like food. Okay, food is medicine. First and foremost, food is medicine. So when you let go of the drugs, of the alcohol, of the smoking, of the crap food, you are going to be rewarded thoroughly in so many different ways. As much as it's difficult to let go of these habits and these things, you will be rewarded. You're going to start seeing things more clearly than you ever have before. And when you're ready for that, you'll know. And it'll be easier to let them go. And you'll notice too that when you let go of certain addictions, it might take a few days, even a few weeks. For me with the cannabis, I was scared, but I was really excited to not feel like I was super addicted to it. So when it only took me probably a few days to get over the withdrawals. And then I just want to say, I literally have just been so happy ever since. My vibration rose after that. And again, I'm not anti-cannabis, and I'm not going to say I will never consume cannabis again. And technically I have CBD oil running in my body every day. But the fact that I don't feel like I have to have it to function has greatly helped me. It's helped to raise my vibrational frequency, because cannabis is right at about neutrality, as far as on that scale of vibrational frequencies. And and I want to say hi to my friend Anna. I love talking with you. I was just thinking of you because I was gonna mention Aaron Doughty. If y'all haven't checked out Aaron Doughty, I honestly don't see how people haven't seen him yet. Because if you're watching my stuff, if you're watching my spiritual videos, then you're spiritual. And he's one of the biggest spiritual YouTubers out there. I've been following him pretty much since he started, and I love him to death. He's just amazing, and he has so much amazing information that will help you. And he has this chart that he shows, and he talks about the vibrational frequency of cannabis. And the thing is that if you are chronically smoking weed every single day, you're gonna tap out at a certain vibrational frequency, and you're not gonna be able to reach higher frequencies that you naturally are able to reach and should be able to reach. But if you're really depressed, see, that's how it can be a great medicine. If you're really depressed and your frequency's way down there, it will bring you up to where cannabis's frequency is. So, you just got to ask yourself what's good for you. Like I was saying, for me, I realized that I was in this foggy haze, and I thought, I got to see what I'm like without it. I need to know who I am without having cannabis every single day. So anyway, so this video, even though I talked a lot about cannabis, I just wanted to share some of this stuff with you. I love you all so much and appreciate you so much. And I am you and you are me. This is a mirrored reality, okay? So we are all one. So I care for you, you care for me, and I appreciate this. And I wanted to share my experiences with it in hopes to help you. Because I don't want anyone to feel stuck. I don't want anyone, to feel like they are trapped by any addictions or anything like that, because you're always free. Being free is your birthright. Everything's a process. You know, I've beat myself up many a times because of my addictions, you know, and the less I did that and the more I was loving and understanding, the easier it was to let go of the addictions that I was experiencing. The main point of the video was, you know, the things that we sacrifice and we give up, if they're no longer serving us, better things will come in. So you're not doing it in vain, you know. You're not giving up your fast food and you know, your heavy drinking. You're not giving it up in vain. You will be greatly rewarded by the universe. You truly will. Opportunities will come in. You'll be able to manifest faster. Your vibrational frequency will rise up. And it's wonderful. Yo, we're smack dab in the middle of the Great Awakening. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, but the whole collective consciousness definitely has shifted several times, especially through the year 2020. We've gone through major shifts, and we will continue to. We are rising on up into 5D, and quite honestly, like, 5D's here. It's not a place, it's a frequency. I've said that before. And a lot of times you'll find yourself weaving out of 4D and 5D, and sometimes you'll drop down into 3D. And a lot of times, I know when I still do, a lot of times when I drop down into 3D, I can feel it. Like when I'm feeling fearful or start freaking out about stuff that hasn't even happened. But the cool thing that I've noticed since I've given up a lot of my addictions is, instead of feeling foggy and tired and confused, it's like when I drop down into those lower frequencies, I'm able to better observe that I'm there instead of just react. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm in a really low frequency right now. What can I learn from this? How can I take this and alchemize it? How can I alchemize all this fear into love? And that's a lot of times, anytime I'm fearful personally, I ask my angels and guides to take my fears away. And sometimes I have to ask multiple times because the fear is like running so rampant within my energetic field. But every single time I ask, I receive. Like, you can feel it, especially if you're an empath, which I'm sure if you're watching this, you're an empath. You can feel the energy of that fear just kind of lift off your back, lift, just go away. So they're there for you. It's their job. They want to help you. So don't forget that. Don't forget that, because another thing, please remember, I didn't know this for the longest time, but everything is within you. The thought of things being outside of you is an illusion that we have been fed. Everything is within you. The answers are within you. Don't forget that. You are a multidimensional, beautiful being. You are light energy manifested into a human body. And I love you. And I look forward to connecting more and more every single week. Let's do this, y'all. We are planting seeds. We are planting light. This is amazing. It's a privilege to be on Earth right now. So even when things get bad and they're scary and they're frustrating and everybody's fighting with each other, it's important for us as empaths to take deep breaths and remember that we're here for a reason and that it's a privilege to be here. I love you so much. Have a fantastic day, night, wherever you are in the now moment. I'll see you soon.